Hello, my name is Augen. I'm from Skywalk and I'm proud here in Wilderness, this lovely place on earth, the paradise, to show you and give you some feedback about the Cayenne 6. I was flying it the whole season and winning my class in the ENC class from this XC Cup, German local competition, and had some great flights from the Wasserkuppe to Cayenne and other nice flights. So yeah. First of all, I think with the Cayenne 6, it's an ENC wing, so it's made for people who have a lot of experience, and especially this ENC wing is made for cross-country flying. So it's not an acro wing, it's really made for cross-country flying and get the highest performance. So let's start maybe with the takeoff. For the takeoff, let's maybe have a look for the risers here. If you see them here, they're quite simple, the risers, and you've got an A riser, B and C, and the brake handle. But what is very new here, we've got this speed control, and with the speed control, when you get accelerated and push it down, with the speed control you can always bring the canopy back to trim speed like it was before, and this way when you accelerate like with the two-liner, you can always use the speed control here and get down to trim speed again. Paraglider doesn't get deformed. So this is a great tool, and the accelerator also works very frictionless, so it's very easy to accelerate. And here you've got some pull on it when you pull the C risers or the speed control risers, which is connected to the B. So when you get at full speed, you can have the brake handles and also grab here, and then you can also reduce the speed again and have fine control of the whole wing. And if you even get a collapse or something, you can also push it down to shortly open it, but for sure you have to get out the speed system and release the speed control afterwards directly. And it was very nice. You can also have a look for the bridles here. They're very thin. You use Lyros lines, German lines. They're called PPSLS. They're even thinner than the PPSL, and so they've got a very high braking strength and they're very thin. If you look here, the overall amount of bridles you have in your hand is almost nothing, you know. So it's very, very low drag. So it's also one of the reasons it's made for cross-country flying. So the minimum drag is very important, because usually you use about 20% of performance by the drag of the bridles, and as thinner and as less they are, as more performance you get. So it's a big advantage here. Yeah, maybe also for takeoff, that's where every flight is starting, and this canopy comes up very easy. If you look for the canopy itself, you see already that the rigid foils at the leading edge bring the leading edge in shape already. At the moment the wind is already starting, so you have to go soon for paragliding, but you see how well the leading edge stays in the wind. That's very nice. And you just need to slightly pull, it comes easy up. You don't have a split A riser, there's only one, so you take the whole A riser, and while you take off, you're putting it a little bit further outside, that you take off not like this, you go more a bit like this, because then you pull more the center of the wing to bring it up. It comes nicely up, very easy. And for sure, even in light wind it comes good up, so you don't have any problems, even if you have a bit of backwind to bring it up. But for sure, like for ENC wing, if you push up too hard, you have to take it on the brake lines. For ENC wing, it's exactly like it should be, but it's not a beginner wing, for sure. Always have to tell this. So this is a high performance wing. Yeah. So maybe here back to the risers. I think I should edit some footage. Maybe you see it a bit in the air, how it flies. And so it's also double secured, which is also maybe interesting. Even, I mean, if the pulleys break here, then this webbing, everything goes inside, that it still doesn't extend. And also here's a second line here, thick line inside, even if the pulleys snap, that you're still secured, that doesn't get deformed. And under load, then this bridle here is also tensioned. So there's full safety for sure. I mean, you have to pass certification with high load, also no problem. One big advantage about the Cayenne 6 is the performance. the lift to drag ratio. For sure, for XC wing, that's one of the main important things, and especially when you accelerate, it just glides outstanding. Even other people was test flying it, which usually have competition wings or other very high performance wing, and they was all telling to me this ENC wing has the best performance accelerated of all ENC wings on the market right now, and that's, I think, is really the big advantage and what it is made for. For the handling for the thermals, when you're up in the air, in the free air, it's very fast wing. You feel very nice where the thermal is, and it's very easy to stay in the core. That's really great. It doesn't have an acro handling. The old Cayenne 5 was more a kind of acro handling, I would say. So if you get on the lee side of a thermal or something, then the acro handling was a bit helping for the Cayenne 6. But this one, when you're on the lee side and flying the thermals, you can accelerate and you get soon very nicely back to the next thermal and climb up again. So that makes it very good for flying there. And on top, the whole canopy is more damped and more relaxed. So when I was flying 8 hours, 9 hours, you still at the end, you're very relaxed because it's very pitch stable. If you get in thermal, it don't go up and go down. It just glides very nicely and it's very relaxed. And the canopy itself, it's not screaming to you, though it's a bit more damped, a bit more silent. Maybe you know from high performance or some wings also you realize they're a bit more damped and not so screaming too much to you. But for sure, you should not, when you feel too confident, then it always becomes dangerous. So don't push too hard and always still be cautious, and then you have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, if you push too hard, for sure, then it's an ENC wing and you can get into troubles. But I only had one slightly front collapse, just half a second, poof, it was back up again without shooting anything. But yeah, just don't feel too confident. And the top speed is very fast. I get not any exact measurements because it's always very difficult. You have the feeling you could push even harder because the canopy still is very stiff, gliding super performant. So that's the point about the performance and the handling, and I really like it. But overall, with all ENC wings, they're all a lot faster than the ENB or ENA wings, so you have to look a lot more mentally in advance when you fly thermals, because you can't make the hard hook turns. You have to let it glide and climb in the thermals, and that's how you handle a good ENC, END or competition wing. So don't push the brakes too hard down, let it fly and let it climb. I mean, if you have so much performance and if you want to get down, there are different possibilities. So we don't recommend to make a B-stall, because with a high aspect ratio wings, if you make a B-stall, it can deform, and it depends a bit how much you pull down. So we don't recommend this to do it. Even for SEY course, if you want to do to train a bit over the water, we recommend to make big ears. It works quite good with this wing, and you can pull the further out A line inside. Even there's possibilities to take 2-1 inside, and this way it's the most relaxed way to get rid of too much performance. When you're on the cloud street or something, you can go in the accelerator slightly, put the big ears in, and then you can accelerate even more. Then that's the safest way usually come down. You can also do a spiral, so it's a bit more easy to get out than the Cayenne 5. So as it's a bit more relaxed from the handling, so it's a bit more safe to get out of the spiral with this wing, which is also nice and helps for collapses or anything else. Yeah, so far I did not have any real collapse except the super shortly front stall, so I can't comment too much about the front, the side collapses. I just did it a bit, but it was no problem. So it's quite easy if you pull the A risers to get it in. You can do it slowly and then it comes in, and it's also quite easy to control it for ENC wing. But for sure, you always have to be a bit cautious. I mean, if you do things too wrong with high glass wings especially, you can get into problems. But I had no problems at all so far. If you make a SLV course and if you want to do a full stall, it's recommended that you first slow down the wing and then get into the full stall. I did not do this so far because I prefer if the wing is flying like it should be, and I don't like the negative too much, but yeah, you can do it that way. So let's have a look for the canopy, because we also have some very special fabric I want to show to you. I mean, we always have some new fabrics inside, and we call this TX Lite, this fabric. It's a triple ripstop fabric. I can show you some close-ups. So it's not only a double ripstop, it's a triple ripstop, and this makes it that it's very tight, even with the seam. If the seam should rip out or something, that it doesn't tear too long, and it gets even stronger with a triple ripstop. But the coating is a even more special thing here. With this coating, it's one side PU coating like normal, like this fabric here, the leading edge, but the other side is a silicone coating. Maybe the old guys remember Upco had in the old times silicone fabrics, which was lasting a lot in this ultraviolet light, but it was a bit stretchy, so it was losing a bit of its performance. So that was the reason why the most people was getting back to this PU coating. And this here is a combination. We've got PU coating and silicone coating, and we also added this to our kites. So it's proven already that this coating works excellent, even if you're going for salt water or anything else, and it lasts super long. So I think it will age about 3 to 4 times less than the normal fabric from ultraviolet light. So that is great. For sure, if you're flying it into a tree, then it's quite similar. Then you have got this triple ripstop, which helps you on top, but this is about 20-25% advantage, but that's not the massive advantage compared to this special coating. Here at the leading edge, we've got a more thick fabric, because, for example, if you have leading edge down and if you smack it over the ground, then it's easy that you tear off here the fabric, and that would really badly damage the wing. So that we want to avoid. So this fabric is a bit more thick and heavy, and the rest of the topsail is then also here with this special TX Lite fabric. So the Cayenne itself, it's quite light but very long lasting. So that's one important point for us. We want to have product that the people have a lot of time, a lot of fun, and can really enjoy it. So I have some videos from this year. I was flying with the Cayenne 6, even with the Ewok overloaded, and cross-country flights a lot. So I will add some videos for you that you can enjoy it while I was flying it. And some greetings here from South Africa wilderness to everybody. Stay healthy, and I hope you can get up in the air to fly as much as possible and always fly safe. Thank you. Bye.